Hey, what's up, all my
Sodgers that
I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about how Kawhi Leonard had changed the entire Spurs franchise, and I'm going to be taking you to before Kawhi Leonard became to the Spurs and changed them, to what they did to get him, and to like everything that could have went wrong but did for him, and also why and how he's changed it up until present day. So we're going to past, present, then to I'm going to past, future, but technically present, future. You know what I mean. Anyway, guys, let's get into the video before this gets any more awkward. Now I'm going to be talking about the season they had, the 2 seasons pretty much they had before they even acquired the Kawhi Leonard, the GOAT, the God. You know who I'm talking about. So the 2010 roster, pretty much they had a big four, and Tim Duncan, when he was pretty much still in his prime, where he averaged 10.1 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 1 block a game, and 17 points per game. And you also had George Hill, the guy that will actually have a big part of this video, who averaged 2 assists per game. No, wait. 2 rebounds per game. My fault. 2 assists per game still, and 12.4 points per game. And you also have Tony Parker, also in his prime, who had averaged 2.4 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists per game, and 16 points per game. Then you have Manu Ginobili, who averaged 3 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and 16 points per game. So obviously, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, the big three besides George Hill, were still in their prime, and George Hill was obviously in his prime. But in the 2010 to 11 season, they went 61-21, but they got upset by an 8th seed Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. And then the year before that in the playoffs, they lost in the second round. So after losing 2 times in a row, having early playoff departures when they should have had way more, they found out that, alright, we need to do something different. So that's going to bring me into what they were thinking then. So what they did was they realized George Hill is the weakest link out of the big four. Obviously, out of Tim Duncan, George Hill, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, he is going to be the weakest link. That's a huge big three. So pretty much whoever else you put there was going to be a weak link. So what they had to do was trade George Hill, but where were they going to trade him? They didn't know. So they traded George Hill for the 15th pick in the 2011 draft, which obviously ended up being Kawhi Leonard. And they didn't know yet, but this would actually be one of the best trades that they could have made. But they almost ran into a roadblock known as Greg Popovich, because Greg Popovich has came out on many occasions saying how much he loved George Hill. He was a great, productive player. He was always fun to be around. He was just like, this all-around good guy, good player. And Popovich really likes people that will take responsibility for what they do. But now looking back at what they did in the trade, I'm sure he thinks a little bit differently of the trade and kind of glad they did. So now I'm going to get in everything that has happened ever since they drafted or traded for Kawhi Leonard, basically, because since drafting the GOAT Kawhi Leonard, they have been a top 2 seed every year except for the 2014 through 15 season, because Leonard was hurt half the year, and I mean, that's really good. And they've been to an NBA Finals 2 years in a row, not 2 years in a row, but they've been to the NBA Finals for 2 years. They lost one and won one, so Kawhi Leonard has a ring under his belt, and they've been to 4 conference finals. That's actually extremely good. And Kawhi Leonard is still young, so no telling what they'll be able to do in the future, even after this. And he has put up 16.4 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, and 2.3 assists per game, and has been up in the league leaders of just like best NBA players in the league, probably top 5 every year, MVP candidate every year basically now. That's really good to be top 5 and an MVP candidate every year. For the past 2 years, he's been NBA candidate, and since he's been drafted, he's been rewarded with being a 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and 2013 Finals MVP. Obviously, this was much better than anyone thought. A 15th pick would be. I mean, when I heard about this trade, I'm not gonna lie, I was really young, but when I heard about this trade, I thought that's a terrible trade. George Hill's a decent point guard. They were doing pretty good even with George Hill. Why would they even make this trade? Obviously, I was younger, but also, like, you think they could have got more than a 15th pick. 15th picks usually are not valued, but, you know, it worked out for them, so Kawhi Leonard changed this franchise. So they went from losing in the first and second round every year in the playoffs to straight up being monsters. Could you imagine if they wouldn't have traded for this? I wonder what would happen. That would have Indiana Pacers and Paul George on the same team. That would be a beast of a team. I wonder how that would end up. But, you know, we'll never know that unless, you know, Mike Korzimba does a what if. He probably will. But yeah, so guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video, and if you like this video at any point, hit the like button, comment below what you want to see from me, and hit the subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. We are gaining subscribers. Help me reach my goal to 50 subscribers by the end of the year. It's not a very high goal, you know. I try to set my goals reasonably for me, and what I can believe, so I mean, y'all been smashing it. Y'all been killing me with all the views, dude. Like, I'm not even saying I'm in it for the views, but obviously views are nice. But, I mean, y'all have been so awesome. It's been awesome to make videos. I've been so motivated to make videos. Thank you so much. We have the best family on YouTube, obviously. And I hope you liked it. Anyway, guys, that's been it. Remember, kids, don't do your vegetables. Eat your drugs. Don't wear your seatbelt. That's the cool thing to do. So anyway, guys, goodbye.